Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by TheLines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We're looking at the second game here on the 4-night playoff slate we've got going on Tuesday. Knicks and Pistons back in the Garden. Knicks looking to close it out. Yes, that was a foul. Sorry, it still counts as a loss, so they're down 3-1, are the Pistons. We've also got episodes up for the other 3 games that are played on Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe to that channel. Don't miss any of the episodes and any of the action insights that you guys need here as we continue along through these playoffs. Nate, let's go ahead and get into my boys here, talk about these Knicks and Pistons.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Pistons to cover 5.5 is where we're at right now, and you can sprinkle on the money line for 2-1 here. I mean, there's obviously not much separating these teams. So what's the net for the series? Plus 0.6 here, and so you expect a close finish, not for it to not be easy. But I mean, what I've seen is the Pistons kind of being the better team, at least last game. The Knicks, their offense very stagnant, very much depending on, a couple of really tough threes, and then Cat just pulling from 35 feet and hitting most of those. They had a 24-point edge in three-pointers, shot 22% better than the Pistons, and still barely pulled that out, as you point out, thanks to a couple of missed calls. I mean, not only did Hart foul him on the three-point attempt, he fouled him on the rebounding action too, right? And then the ball was... Yeah. So otherwise, I mean, Detroit has in general won the toughness stats, if you will, points in the paint, rebounding. They're 54% rebounding for the series. That is their calling card. I mean, are the Knicks good enough to cover 6 with a 213 total? Is their defense good enough for that? I wouldn't think so. And I mean, yeah, the adjustments Detroit has made in these second halves where it is just kind of predictable, this Knicks offense, and how you quickly adjust. They're plus 18 net in the last 2 second halves with a 102 defensive rating, and the Knicks have really struggled down the stretch. Other than like I said, just getting kind of bailed out to that degree. So I think the Pistons can hang in this one. I think they have every chance to win.
I guess I should have added them. I was talking about which teams have the best chance to, or at least which teams are least likely to roll over the way the Heat are doing while we're recording this on Monday, and just completely rolled over from the jump. Which teams are least likely to do that of the ones that are down and facing elimination? And yeah, I think this is one of those teams. Like the Pistons are going to be pissed, if anything. Now, it would be pretty crappy character to come out and be mad that the refs cost you game 4. Come on. I mean, they didn't give you a chance to win it equally necessarily at the very end, but however you want to phrase it, like hopefully that doesn't just cause them to just pout and not come out. But this is how I would bet this as well. I don't know that there's been anything figured out more or less. I think the Pistons are still in this. And if guys like THJ or anybody outside of Cade can hit shots, then they're in a good spot here. So I'm with you on that. I'm going to talk about Toby Harris here. I'm going to go back to just a hit rate, just merchant here in terms of the over 4.5 quarter 1 points, and that is still plus on that if you want it. So I love that for him. He's a 5.2 points per game in the first quarter guy. He's one of those guys like Kristaps where it's like they get him going, and you can rely on first quarter minutes being what they will be because it's still rotation. It's like opening chess moves. This is all scripted for the first bunch of minutes here in the game. We know exactly when the rotations are going to change. And Toby's played the whole first quarter in the last 2. He's played at least 10 minutes in all of the games and 11 in the fourth one that I'm not talking about yet. So he went under 2 games ago. That was the only time. And the reason was he went 0 for 4. But that's the guy that's taking at least 4 shots per game in the first quarter. So when he took 6, by the way, in the last first quarter. So it's just like amazing that I don't have to rely on a guy I can rely on volume for a guy in 1 quarter. Like I said, 4.5 field goal attempts. And when Cade comes out with about 2-3 minutes left, and Toby's now the basically the go-to guy with Schroeder running the point, and Toby is his number 1 option, then yeah, this is going to continue to be a great look for him. 2 threes that he's attempting as well. So he's going to continue to have some good stuff. He gets lost in transition because he guards Cat. I should throw that out there to protect Jalen Duren. They definitely switch on and off a lot, and that does leave him available in transition as Cat tries to potentially crash the offensive boards and whatnot. Toby's able to get it and go, and then the guy who's supposed to be guarding him isn't around because it was Cat that he was guarding, right?
Yeah, nice bounce back game from Tobias. And yeah, the Pistons just didn't shoot well from the perimeter as a team, but he did his thing going to the basket, and there's just not much resistance from this Knicks starting unit when you do go to the basket. So like that look here to start. I'm going to go under 21.5 points in rebounds with OG Anunoby here, who is out there to guard Cade. He's not out there to rebound. He is not out there to score necessarily. He is out there to guard Cade Cunningham. And we're talking a 40% rebound chance rate in this series, deferring 1.5 a game, grabbing 4. Just compare that to Brunson, who's 60% rebound chance rate, because like we often talk about, they want to get it to their point guard and get it up the floor. And in the last 3, OG has even diminished more in terms of his role rebounding, 33% rebound chance rate, and in touches. He's 5th in touches on the team, way last in the starting lineup in terms of times of possession. And I mean, he's only shooting 23% on catch and shoots in this last 3 here. And then I talk about the defensive adjustments the Pistons are able to make, which, it's just like stay home, just very simple stuff right coming out of the break. And in the second half of the series, to OG, 14 points on 5 for 22 from the floor and 0 for 7 from 3. So just really a non-factor if he doesn't get going early here. But it's not really his role. Like they don't run anything for him. And you just, if you want the over here, you're going to have to hope he hits like 3 corner threes early before the Pistons get locked in on their P's and Q's. But I mean, they could be pretty locked in from the start here.
Yeah, I love OG under boards. I can't believe there's still some books holding 5.5 boards for him. He's just never going to be in position to get the board versus Cade Cunningham, who is still taking 23, 25 shots in that range. He's getting blitzed a ton, but that just means OG is the one, he's sticking to Cade. So like when someone comes and helps on Cade, that person is now responsible for scrambling, not necessarily OG who's sticking around. And even when he is scrambling, right, he's always a part of the main action on defending Cade, which just leaves him out of position for the boards all the time. So I love this look for him. If you want to take like 10 plus points and under on the boards, that's another good little negative correlation. He should be good for 10. That's something he did every time against this team, except for last game, where he had 8 on 3 for 13 shooting. So even 13 shots, I'm going to take him to get the 10 points if you wanted to make that the way that you parlayed things. But let me go to the last one here. And like I mentioned a minute ago, like the first game, Knicks double. They brought some doubles to Cade. They still let him get some shots off. Next game, they didn't double him. He went for $1 million. Next 2 games, they double him every time. He has been blitzed out of control. So we're going with THJ, Tim Hardaway Jr., over 2.5 threes. I like that correlated with Cade to get his dimes again. If you want to take over 9.5 assists for him at even or so, like he's at 23 and 24 potentials on the dimes here in the last 2 games. Again, because every single time he has the ball, if he wants to take a step inside the 3-point line, he again doubled. They actually stopped bringing the double team for him because they couldn't just even get him an open shot, even in the mid-range. And that's just been forcing him to pass it. So as a result, the correlation is THJ's threes going up to 12 and 13 attempts in these last 2 games. And it's not like they were rising from the dead. He was at 8 attempts in the first one, 6 attempts in the second one. And again, look at the correlation there. Game 1, 8 attempts, still on the high side for THJ, but I'll take 3 makes on 8 attempts all day for a guy that's like a 37% 3-point shooter and 42% on wide open threes. So I'll keep taking that for him. He's going to keep being wide open. He was 3 for 6 on wide open threes in not this last game, but the game he went completely ballistic with 6 threes. It's just wide open, right? Because the defense is completely out of whack at that point, which is not something that we see normally from the Knicks on the season, but this is what they're doing now. It's like, well, look, we're going to lose this series if we let Cade score 30 to 35. We're probably going to win if he scores 24 and we make them bomb threes all game, right? Not just in the first half where they're really good, but by the end of the second, in the second half, get a little bit more tired. So THJ with the attempts, let me go ahead and just get him to make 3 of them.
Yeah, it's just spicy with a little revenge angle as well. How great would it be for him to do this in the Garden and spoil their closeout spot? But Bickerstaff is willing to go with him. 37 minutes, so he's actually apparently defending better than Malik Beasley, or seen other things that he likes better than from Malik. And THJ is then becoming the primary gunner alongside Cade, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any way that you want to play that correlation of the defense for New York. But that's all the time we have for you in this one. Definitely make sure to go ahead and subscribe to that channel so you don't miss any of the games. We're bringing you all 4 of them on Tuesday night. Until we see you next, happy betting.